Hey, greetings and salutations. I am Garam Rusmore, and welcome everybody to my stream. I'm a Twitch affiliate. I have emotes that aren't authorized yet by Twitch. So basically, it could take like 48 hours or up to like 3 to 4 weeks, depending on the time of year, how busy they are, and everything like that. So it's like, I've also switched over to Streamlabs, and I've got an alert box setting up. So let's see, and let's test my widgets, because seeing as I paid for these emotes, because I can't I can draw, but I don't draw very well. And one of the things is they're in the style of K-Bot. And do I switch to Streamlabs OBS from regular OBS? Well, the thing is, I'm finding it not bad. And one of the things is I've managed to set up the alerts, and the alert. So one of the things is, while I was getting to affiliate, basically everybody who followed, it was totally reliant on me seeing a little line appear over here saying that somebody new had followed. And I've seen other streamers, Eleanor Di Lorenzo, I think Geeks for Good also have it, and a wide variety of people basically have alerts pop up on screen and noise play in the background, and it's like, oh, that might help. It might, if I do an Eleanor Di Lorenzo, it might scare the bejesus out of me and, distract from the game. So hopefully don't go down that route. But at the same token, also it allows me for custom artwork. How have you done that with regular OBS? That's a bit that I could never work out. Anytime I tried to do any research into it whatsoever, it basically just pointed me back to Streamlabs OBS. So, and one of the things is, because I got the artwork for the emotes, I've actually set it up on my alerts. So now if somebody follows, we should see this. And if somebody gives me bits, then it will come up with this. And if anybody subscribes, it will eventually come up with this. There we go. And those three are the three images are actually going to be the three emotes for the channel. So I use Streamlabs for alerts, but you can make but you can use the browser source. Is that a I can't. Don't really want to go opening up regular OBS, but it's baked into there for Streamlabs OBS, I've found. And yeah, it's a little bit by the by. With Streamlabs, it's baked in there. It's not costing me anything at the moment. I know that they have a subscription thing that you can buy all kinds of layouts or rent all kinds of layouts and whatnot. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, but seeing as though I'm still not making money on this at the moment, probably going to be avoiding that for the time being. Yeah, what the alerts, the sound for the alerts is possibly, it's one of them things, because one of the interesting things is you hear my backing music at the moment, my background music, and that only works if I've got my headset plugged in and I can hear it. If I don't have my headset plugged in, it won't play on the stream. And it's like, why are you not playing on the stream? It's coming through my speakers, and it's supposed to be capturing the desktop audio, but it's only when my headset's plugged in, so it's like, oh, well, I have my headset plugged in anyway so that you guys can hear me, because this is the only mic. Well, my camera has a built-in mic. It's not particularly great quality. Did experiment with it a bit, and it was like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't terrible, it just wasn't great, and this is slightly better. I think At the moment, I'm just paying for commissions to get the artwork, the emotes sorted, and I still need to figure out whether I want to go, because at the moment, I'm currently in the box and everything. Who is the small dirt knight? Yep, over here. Who is the grand? Who is the Grand Ambassador? He is K-Bot. And if we put I can't remember what the Nightbot command is, but it's artwork provided to, or purchased by me from a friend. It's one of them where it's like, there's a reasonable chance that I could persuade these people to do it for free, but I refuse to get them to do it for free because at the end of the day, they still want their money from doing commissions. But yeah, it's a good friend of mine. She does a lot of my art. Well, she does all of my artwork, if I'm brutally honest. I just like her style. Although, you know, I just managed to get my emotes in, and now she's doing a 6-page comic for somebody. So that's going to net her a fair amount of money, but at the same token, it means that she's out of commissionable range for a little while. Because I also kind of want a GIF for when people follow and whatnot, rather than just a static blip. It's just I'm using the blips from the emotes. Will K-Bot come to my town and kill truffles? I saw your tweet earlier about your island, and I forgot the other guy's name, but basically they've started hanging around with truffles. Zell. But yeah, if K-Bot could, he could. He might also be a bit of a baron. He might be a king. He might be an influential. The whole point was for her to have no friends and leave. And she finally made a friend and now refuses to leave. I'm confused about it. One of the things I thought you could just evict people off your island if you didn't like them, or are you narrating that he's living on the island just friendless because you don't like him, and it's all like his purgatory? You've tried. See, that's the weirdest thing about the whole thing. It's like, it's one of them where it's like, it's an island that you own that you don't actually have any control of. You're kind of just renting it, mortgaging it off. What's his face? Names have gone blank. I want to say Zooks, but it's not Zooks. Nook. Nook. I read an article that was like, ignore her and she'll leave. But I keep trying. Okay, you might have to ignore her for a little longer than just a day. You know, if somebody ignores me for a day, I just assume they're busy and they're not trying to get me out of their lives. I could be wrong. Yeah. You might just be stuck with them and you'll have to learn to love them. Then Friday I saw you sad and pensive, and I was like, this is it. Yeah, I mean, you'll get rid of them eventually. You've got the kind of can-do attitude that will eventually... I mean, have you tried digging them in a hole and putting them in it and then just burying over the hole? You know, it'll take up one of your villager slots, but, you know, at least then she'll be contained. I don't know. I've owned that game since, like, release day, but I'm such a casual player with it, where it's like, I'll pick it up and play around and do some things every now and again. And I said hi, and she was like, I don't like your nickname, and I'm sad. Wow. So basically, not only does she have Yeah, she basically just doesn't like you. You don't like her, and she's refusing to leave. Well, that's... I'm kind of curious about who's the more stubborn one now. But yeah, I got that game from day of release, and I'm trying to steal your gazelle boyfriend. Yeah. I mean, by the look on your Twitter, she was actually succeeding, maybe? Didn't actually say it. Your Twitter basically implied that they were talking and chatting and potentially, you know, getting to know one another. I'm a villain. I'm not. No, I'm chaotic. And yes, I can be the villain sometimes, but at the same token, it's just me throwing out options. Everything I say is terrible, terrible advice. I cannot remember what I'm doing on this game. The Lost Brother. I found... Okay. I think I'm stuck again at this point of solid. I have no idea what's going on. Although I was kind of exploring around everywhere. I think. I've been up there. People don't vote with chaotic players in Survivor. Yeah, I don't say as I blame them. I am chaos. I like to be a chaos incarnate and just an absolute, I wouldn't say terrible human being. Because that's a little bit harsh on myself. Nope, stop. Go back there. Go back into the kingdom and then stop and then look at this kingdom thing. I just like to keep things interesting. There's nothing worse than everything just being everyday, mundane, routine. You know, it's one of the things that's odd. It's all I like chaos. Now let's begin resting.
I wish I was born in a noble family. Servants to lick my boots and bring me breakfast in bed. Now,
I just realized I have still got the background music going. That's why I can't hear what she's saying.
in my tribe, they wake you up with a kick and hustle you to cook for them. The stinking goats.
I bet your time among nobility would be even shorter than mine. You'd jump up the moment you were trying on your third dress, or drinking tea with your auntie. You'd trash the place and run into the forest.
But no, I like promoting chaos, but there's a reasonably good chance that if, you know, chaos wasn't really the best thing, then, you know, I do also kind of like routine. It's one of them. I'm so like very... I like the routine of my streaming, which is weird. It's all like... I wasn't entirely sure how I'd be able to handle a routine when it came to streaming. But I found it fairly therapeutic almost. In terms of, you know, I know exactly what I'm doing on a given day, which in its own way basically is just reassuring, where it's like I don't have to think. I don't have to think, oh, what am I doing this evening? I don't have to try to entertain myself. It's all like, no, I'm streaming this evening playing Pathfinder. Although I do miss days off, I need to figure out what I'm doing about my schedule at some point. Because my schedule at the moment, it's all like, I stream Monday, Tuesdays. I play D&D Wednesdays. Stream Thursday, Friday. Play a Starfinder game Saturdays, although that's now alternating between Starfinder and Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Tuesday nights I also play a Pathfinder 2 game. Saturdays evenings I then stream with my friend Magcat on some kind of co-op game. At the same time he's streaming. And then on Sundays I run usually a Starfinder, but it's currently Pathfinder 2 adventure. So it's like, when do I actually get to relax? Not that I don't find that this is... I enjoy video games to the point where it's like, this is kind of relaxing, but at the same token, it's all like, it could be more relaxing. Please be flat-footed. Yes. Right, can you charge that one over there? I should stop doing that. Can you charge either one of these? No, you can't. Move up.
Tear them apart!
Just saying, shoot that one. Shoot that
Serves
one.
you right.
Oh, 1 point of damage, not great.
Let us strike as one.
So how are you doing today, Halfsinger, anyway, apart from your island woes?
Let yourself open.
All of my chaotic comments too much and you've abandoned my channel. One says I blame you. Yeah, I'm a big advocate of it's like, it's just Twitch. Watch people that you enjoy watching. If somebody's winding you up, you just change the channel. There's plenty of channels out there. Bum, bum, bum. Is there nobody else in chat at the moment? Usually I expect one of the regulars to turn up. Crit Commission's lurking. You always look. Thank you for coming. I made my little alert boxes all... I'm not sure if you were here at the time, but I've made all my alert boxes which pop up the emotes. I'm watching... I am the Watcher in the Night. Hi, yes. Hey Josh, how's it going? Yeah, sorry about Tuesday not streaming Pathfinder Kingmaker. I know that that's why you come to my channel, but yeah, it was a rough day on Tuesday, and it was just like, I'm not in the mood for
I'm not afraid.
Pathfinder, unfortunately. But if you did stick around, hope you enjoyed the Hitman. It's one of them. I actually kind of enjoyed streaming the Hitman game. What do you mean there's no sniper rifle in this? I mean, there might be sniper rifles in this if you can... I don't think you can be gunslinger in...
This is for you.
Kingmaker. Got an email earlier basically saying, my throat is fine. It was just a little bit of discomfort that wore off with time. Wasn't accident or illness or anything, so yeah. Pretty much the next morning I woke up. Curses, there goes my whole idea for a build. What, no gunslingers? I doubt you play this game, Crit Commissions. I don't think... I just don't feel that it's your style. And down goes Emery.
Won't kill me.
No, it might kill you.
Survive. I always survive.
I'll fight if I have
Can
to.
we just... Dwayne line. I got an email from Owlcat via Kickstarter. The Wrath of the Righteous is hitting beta. And I double checked, I only purchased the actual complete game, not the beta or alpha build, so... I'm not entirely sure how on target they are for their original release plan / date. Oh my god!
Calm down. Not dead yet.
Why is it that these things can just
You
murder
can't stop me.
Oh look, more of them just appeared. Great stuff. Although they're just Dwemer cats rather than Dwemer lions. Yeah, no, I'm probably not going to jump straight into the sequel. It's been fun, but it's one of them where it's like, I get the feeling that I should probably give it a break between them. Because I am so heavily burnt out on this one. I say so heavily burnt out. I'm not badly burnt out, it's just part of me wishes that it wasn't as long as it is, so that maybe it wouldn't feel as daunting to try out a couple of different builds, a couple of different ideas, see how the narrative goes by playing. Right, I need to do something about me getting murdered. And I moved away, and now it's not allowing me to do it. Shazbot. Inspire courage. Why not? Right, if you could just lie down and be dead. Stand up. Get hit. Murder the thing! And now it just absolutely murders me.
Part of the plan.
Oh no, I fell down. That's good. Yes. I got a feeling that it's going to be something like 400 hours by the time I finish this one.
Consider
If I'm entirely honest with you. Alright, let's have some more heals for the lols. Right.
Stay behind
Could we
me.
just kill this? That would be appreciated.
Calm
There's
down.
something I actually missed.
Not dead yet.
This won't kill me.
Turns out these cats are the BBEG. Yeah, I don't get the feeling that they will be the BBEG, but so hopefully now it's a terrible idea to stand up right here. Can I drink a potion while lying face down in the dirt? See, that kind of annoys me. It's all like, I just want to be able to use that. But it's all like, no actions left this turn to use this ability. And it's like, all you're going to do is stand up, get yourself murdered, and then drink the potion. Ooh, concealment really paid off. And now I can drink it. Can't drink while on the ground for some reason. Alright, Amory, stay down for a moment. Let's see how terrible this goes. Oh. It's Lindsay getting attacked.
I'm wounded.
Hey, I actually died that time. Oh my word. No point in using any of those special abilities just yet because not getting the flanking to get flat-footed. Right, now take care of the green cats. These guys must have a hell of a two-hit. What is it? Attack balance was plus 17. Move away. I'm so tempted just to try and fireball this place. Dominate person, shout, serenity. Fill the target's minds. Oh, it's everybody's. It's not selective. Fear, displacement, haste. I don't really want to haste. I don't like it, but just shoot it. Right, now you stand up. And murder that one. So that should be 2 of you on that one. 2 Does Tristan's spell that brings him back to life get rid of Death's Door? He has a spell to bring him back to life now, doesn't he? Does he? No, this is not Tristan. How's injured? See, Alan's
This
fairly
is for
injured
you.
already. He has a spell to bring him back to life, doesn't he? It might do. He got rid of Death's Door. He also wasn't powerful enough to bring him back to life, but he's conscious. Well, he's subconscious and not dead.
Let us strike
Murder that one. Turn around, murder another one. No?
Do
Okay.
not falter.
I'm alright.
That's good to know that he actually gets rid of Death's Door. Because there has been one or two cases where it's like, I need to make sure that I who is this? This is Amory. Okay, murder that one.
I'll fight if I have to.
Let's pop another heal.
Onwards. Stay behind me.
But yeah, there's. I mean, I don't.
Not dead yet.
Seriously, I'm dead and on the ground. I've not moved, and straight away they're attacking me. I hate the AI in this game sometimes. What was that? Stay lying down because I can't afford to have you murdered just because you stood up. But yeah, there's been a couple of dungeons where it's like I'm stuck down here for a while. And as part of that, Amulet of Mighty Fist too. Okay, great stuff. Right,
Share your troubles.
Tristine. I need some pretty big heals. Not bad, not bad. Freedom of movement, venom spit, restoration. Can I burn the venom spit as well? There we go, that's not bad. And you're just gonna drink a couple of healing potions. 'Cause why not? That's what they're there for after all. But yeah, sometimes you get trapped in a dungeon-ish area, and if
That is
somebody
not
went down
far.
due to Death's Door, it's like that could be awkward to work with for quite a while. Also, if it wasn't for the fact that it was me, it might actually be a slightly more successful. Oh, is that it? I'm not seeing. Okay. I was expecting this one to happen to go like the other one, where it was a long trail of caves that led through the mountains or wherever it was. Unless it just so happens to be part of a one-way system. Where's the door? There it is. So how's everybody doing this evening anyway? I think I asked, but nobody answered. Apart from Crit Commission saying, lurking. Hopefully going to get... my emotes have been uploaded. I'm not sure if anybody's busy. Not sure if my... I mentioned this while everyone was around, but I've uploaded my emotes to Twitch. Making some wheel level 1 characters. For 5th edition, I take it? Oh, troubleshooter 65. Okay, stop there. Let's take care of this. Because something just got resolved. Divine and Arcane is up. That's nice. Your High Priest seeks your advice. See, I'm wondering. That's. If that is what I think it is, then it's kind of important. Because it allows me. If it's what I think it is, because my Divine and Arcane ranks just went up. And somebody wants to see me here.
Need to catch my breath.
And if it's... I've forgotten his name. I am lousy with names. Not Jubiliost. Jode? I want to say Jode. Then he might be talking about getting ranked up. Your Grace, forgive my intrusion. So we have matters that demand your urgent attention right now. Anna Mede, the bard from Patex, is singing in the middle of our main square, and her songs are seditious, to say the least. Remind me again who Anna Mede is. She is amongst the most talented bards of Patex, but more importantly, she is one of King Ivarati's most favoured singers. Anything she sings almost certainly promotes his agenda. Let us hurry to the square. I've also got my channel point. So I've uploaded my emotes, but Twitch is still waiting. They haven't quite yet verified them and said, yeah, they're okay. I don't think they'll have a problem with them, but at the same token, it's... Until they say, yeah, that's fine. I need to figure out what I'm doing for artworks, for subscriptions and whatnot, if I'm going to do special ones for those. And then there's my channel points. I have no idea what I'm doing for channel points, by the way. But on the plus side, you know, I did think of one thing to do for channel points. If you manage to accumulate up 10 million channel points, I will personally pay for crit commissions to do you a K-bot design in whatever style you want. And you'll liaise with crit commissions and get that artwork for yourself. I will still own the overall design, but I won't be using your artwork for anything particular. So yeah, get saving up them channel points. And if you too can get 10 million, 10 million is a ridiculous number. It was one that I kind of put in there as a joke. I might bring it... I'm tempted to actually go for it, but bring it down by a factor of maybe like a 10 and just bring it to 1 million. Because if somebody's hanging around for that long, I think they deserve some form of recognition. But I have no idea what else to put up for channel point things, because I've seen some where it's all like Kale Hydrate, where basically they have to take a swig of whatever drink they're drinking. That'd be terrible for me, because I don't... Yeah, my emojis are pending. So what happens if I get the channel points? I will pay for you to get a commission done in the form of K-bot with your favoured artist. Within reason. You know, Or I'll just pay you to do one for yourself, and, you know, you just pocket the money or something, I don't know. The emojis are pending. I uploaded them the day that I got them, which was Tuesday? I want to... Wednesday. Crit commissions, when did you give my emojis? But yeah, I've looked at them and... Or I've looked for them and they're still not showing up. They were pending last I checked. It can take like up to 48 hours, but at busy periods it may be longer. Because one of the annoying things is I've seen them in their various different forms, and I've seen it how it will look in chat. The thing is, the reason why I don't do my own artwork is because I suck at these kind of things. Crit commissions might take a look at them and go, I want to tweak that one, I want to fine-tune that one. One thing I did notice, crit commission, so if I've also attached the emojis to my alert boxes. And if we click on this one, I think it is, yeah. Those little exclamation marks in the eyes, I'm not entirely convinced that they will show up too well. When it comes to the tiny little emoji. Sorry, I'm trying to eat peanut butter cups here. But the thing is, if I go changing them on Twitch, I'll basically have to start the whole process all over again, so... So that's Kbot Excite, and then we've got Kbot Happy, which is this one. And then we've just got Kbot, which is that one. Unfortunately, because I'm also a relatively new affiliate, I do not have many slots. I have 3 slots that are available. One for tier 1 subscriptions, one for tier 2 subscriptions, and one for tier 3 subscriptions. So to a certain degree, if you want to, I've laid them out. It's like Kbot, Kbot Happy, and Kbot Excite. If I don't know whether moderators and VIPs and other people get access to the emojis. You might have to burn some channel points if you really want to use some of the emojis. Oh, crit commissions. If you click on the channel points button, which is just in it's a little bubble in the lower left of the chat window, you'll actually see a Kbot commission for... And the 10 million point channel point thing, that's how it's going to look at this zoom level, as it were. So yeah, eventually they'll get going to pending, and hopefully to a certain degree, you get more depending on subscription points. Yeah, so if you want to get that sorted, I don't know how many pixels you're working with here, because on the larger one, it'd be okay if it was just sort of like outlined in black, I feel. But for the smaller ones, I think the outline would probably be pretty much the entirety, and having it gone to a black outline, it would make it... Anyway, you're the artist, I'll leave that with you. Hanmi de Bellarvarna, the charming bard from Patak, stands before you with a lute in her hands, surrounded by a crowd of the capital's citizens. In a moment she noticed you and blows you a kiss. I'm so happy to see you again, Lady Bella. I'm just gonna call her Bella because what? Check your folder after the stream. Well, the feeling's mutual, Your Grace. Our last meeting was so unforgettable. Ganymede smiles with the corner of her lips. I'm happy to visit your lands once again and bring the gift of art to your people. Maestro Bella, I'm so happy to see you here. But why are your songs so cruel? Our charming Ganymede might wish to tell the Baron what kind of so-called art she's chosen to entertain her subjects with. Her first song, she praised King can't speak today. Ivaretti, and the second song was about a certain lady from Restov who fostered a street pup, dressed him in lace and velvet, and trained him to make the manners of court. I find these allusions inappropriate and offensive. Lady Bella, you should be more respectful in your statements. I think that's the closest one, because chaotic good is 2 away from my alignment. Lawful neutral is 1 away. My dear Baron, I'm just a humble bard, and my songs are just an innocent way to make people smile and lighten their moods. Though if someone feels offended by my show, that someone can always demand satisfaction from me at the Rushlight tournament in Patax. It's an honest competition, words against words, talent against talent. That's the place where one may demonstrate his or her prowess. What is this Rushlight tournament? How could you not know? It is one of the greatest Pataxian traditions. Once every few years, the king announces the date of the tournament. We greet guests from all around the river kingdoms on the banks of the Rushlight River. The whole day of the tournament is filled with mirth and spirit of competition. Everyone has a chance to prove themselves: fighters, archers, singers, storytellers, and even fans of strong drinks. The drinking competition is an important part of the program. It will be my pleasure to visit this tournament. King Ivaretti will be happy to hear this. See you in Patax then, Your Grace. The bard gives you a teasing glance from under her eyelashes, and then bows and leaves. Why do I have a feeling that I've just been baited and fell for it, hook, line and sinker? Yep, let's get rid of some junk. That was not what I was expecting it to be when I came back. Menace Storm, it's got a name, so I'm going to keep it. But let's get rid of that. I don't think I need... Deal. Braces of armor 5. Did that just change? Yeah, it did. So what are you currently wearing? Oh, 5 AC. But your trickery also goes up. Tristan's already wearing them. You're wearing AC 8, you're wearing AC 10, and I'm wearing AC 5, but I can cast a spell that I never actually freaking use. I need some better armor. And also to use that ability more often. Because what is it? Barking toughness creatures given the effect it gives a +2 enhancement bonus to creatures' existing natural armor bonuses. This enhancement bonus increases by 1 for every 3 levels of the caster. That doesn't matter because it's set at the level. Then provides does not provided by Barkskin starts with target's natural armor bonus, but does not with other enhancement bonuses with natural armor. The creature without natural armor has an effective natural armor bonus of 2. Well, I got a rest, so if I... what am I, 23? So if I cast that on myself right now... He goes up to a 24. So it's not terrible. But it's barely worth it. And I could be running around with braces of armor. And just ditch that. I'd lose the spell, but... See, I could be wearing that. Why am I not wearing that? Let's switch these, actually. You can have the Aegis. And you can have the Vest of 1,000 Pockets. Still means that that's useless. Let's sell the 4s off. Has anybody got any decent armor in? Nope. So they've started stocking Belt of Giant Strength +6, which might help for Amory, but she's got one of Strength and Constitution, and the +4 to each of those I feel is better than a +6 to one of those. It's also 70,000, which I'm not entirely sure is... Oh, I could buy a couple of them. Yep. Let's see if you've got anything useful. Not really. Well, back to the keep. There are 2 kinds of issues that a ruler must address, boring ones and amusing ones. Bright side is, you have servants and other individuals to take care of the boring ones. Your Grace, we need another advisor who is equipped to deal with the issues of magic. In the past I have spent some of my time on these affairs, but now the population of the barony and my congregation has grown that I simply cannot handle the extra responsibilities. Oh, and the other thing, a delegation of Nephis worshippers has come to us from Absalom. They've dragged a miniature of some sort of magic library with them. They say that they want to build it here in your capital. If I were you, I'd send them back where they came. We've enough on our plate without the crazy projects of crazy gods. We shall build this magic library. It will spur the development of the mystic arts. As you wish, but with Estral as my witness, this will not lead to much good. I don't care what you think. It's the archives of Nephis. The lesser, quicker metamagic rod is good buy if you're looking to splash some cash. I did not see that. Quicken would make it a move action rather than I need to go double check that. Your Grace, Creston cost politely. The goblin, the one you found, he has asked to see you. He claims you are in need of training. I think he is rather in need of a bath. Several. He helped us against the goblin tribes. I think I should return the favor. Knock Knock strides in as best as his short legs can manage, and then his gait slows. Then he stops as he takes in the throne room. His eyes and ears swivel independently as if trying to take every direction in at once. After scanning the area around him, he looks upwards and squints, as if uncertain if there's a ceiling above him or not. He still stands, swaying slightly, eyes fixed on the ceiling. The others in the throne room are disdainfully silent. Some even wrinkle their nose and take a step back. Some of the guards' hands fall to the hilt of their blades. Knock Knock's head snaps down and then seeing you, gives a sickle grin, his eyes gleaming. Sidekick! Almost didn't see among all Longshanks. He frowns at your throne, then cocks his head confused. Why in my chair? There is a slight chuckle from someone in the room, quickly silenced. Took a while to find a way here, Knock Knock glances around. But now, here, to take rightful place, be a hero, and show you how to be a hero. He nods sharply and hooks his fingers in his belt. I can help you like before. Side by side, big hero. He points to himself. And not big hero. He pauses. I need you. Creston frowns. Actually, Your Grace, if you're considering accepting assistance from this Knock Knock. Knock Knock raps on the ground with the heel twice for emphasis, then winces. Creston frowns deeply. If this Knock Knock truly wishes to be of help and is one of the goblins might listen to, there have been sightings of goblins near Oleg's, possibly deposed by our recent encounter. Massacre! Knock Knock corrects brightly. Chopped them all up except for those who ran. New tribe probably have very long legs, very hard to catch. His eyes are light and he grins. But not for me, I can round them up. But, he frowns again, but unless they're still being chased, it's not like them to keep moving. Tires one out. They better stay in the capital, like Knock, even. It smells bad here. Ah, yes. Oleg sent word that of these goblins via courier, but he seems to be reluctant to leave in case they raid the post in his absence. Apparently, they've been quite diligent in trying to raid his storeroom. If your goblin ally could deal with them. If it keeps you out of here, go attend to it. Doesn't say who I'm addressing that to. Very well, we'll travel to Oleg soon. Knock Knock nods, then pauses as he sees you remain seated. Do we go now? Yes, let's resolve this quickly. Knock Knock nods, standing proudly. He makes what might be a ragged salute, interrupted by his noticing something on his wrist, which he rubs away with a frown. As you command, as a hero with... he rubs his wrist again and then grunts. We'll go. Lead to post. Knock Knock follow. Knock Knock and the trouble with goblins. I think I've unlocked all of them. Yeah. I think that's unlocking all of them. I'm not sure. The stolen lands don't look like the River Kingdom's backyard anymore. People respect the Baron and his country. Give our neighbours an example of proper government. Raise the Baron stats 25 times. Eesh. Paperwork. Right. High Priest. Knock. Anybody else? Right. Advisors. Ooh. I get to assign somebody. Octavia. You've been far too lazy for far too long. Surprised we can't put Knock in charge of something. I'm just seeing where everybody kind of fits in. Project support the High Priest's endeavours. This will rank up Divine, which will be useful in bringing it up in line with the economy, and then I also can start concentrating on the Arcane. Bringing that up. Espionage, we need to get relations up to 4, which isn't gonna happen anytime soon. But it will eventually go up. Where are all of these things? High Priestess is assisting the Magister in arcane matters. While active, events resolve using 10 instead of the sum of the Magister's ability bonus plus the bonus of the arcane rank stat. Transition of power. Arcane will end upon reaching Arcane 3. I mean, okay, we've got... Oh, we can actually do some more of these things. So that's a problem, and this is an opportunity. So deal with the problems first. That's a terrible chance to succeed. Everybody's so scattered out. 1, 2, 2, 3, 14, 21. Excuse me. Right. Need to quickly rest. As I quickly rest. Now, some of these things should now have cleared up. I don't know. Apparently sleeping doesn't tick over a day. Drop some stuff in the chest. That's a 4. They can come out of there. The 5 can go in there. That can go in there. That can go in there. Let's go have a look for this meta magic rod. Anybody remember which store it's in? Because, oh shoot, I meant to... So much to try and remember in this game. I need to go into the town map and build the Archive of Nephis. I can't... I'm calling it the Archive of Nephis because it's a library that's a miniature thing of the deity Nephis. But if you look for the Pathfinder... Starfinder rules online, it's on a website called the Archives of Nephis. So I'll probably always refer to it as that. The thing is, I keep saying that my town is growing and things are progressing. This wooden frame has been up there for months, ever since this town got founded. And there's still debris on the ground from the last time we got invaded, which was at least a chapter ago. Do you have any meta magic? Okay, so we got a lesser maximize metamagic rod. Maximize all variable numerical effects of the spell are modified and maximized. Saving throws and opposed rolls are not affected. See, that's a nice one. The lesser quickening. Casting a quickened spell is a swift action. You can perform another action even casting another spell in the same round as you cast quickened spell. A spell whose casting time is more than one round or one full round cannot be quickened. See, they're both nice. See, the lesser maximized is great for heals and the like. 49,000. Get rid of that. Let's bring the price down slightly. And offer up the junk. There is not much junk. Because in theory, when... So, right. We got the Empower one, which increases... all variable numeric effects of the Empower spell are increased by half, including bonuses to those rolls. So basically it's plus 50% as far as I'm aware. But you've got the lesser maximize one. I'm likely to... do I want to quicken Tristan, or do I want to try and quicken Octavia? Put that down for now and take that. Gonna give you all of the rods. This can't go wrong. So, with the... Right, we've got two, which are very similar. The Empower and the Maximize. So, with the Empower one, if we cast Cure Critical Wounds, it's 48 plus 1 for every caster level. So, let's call that 10. A D8 averages out at 4.5, so 9, 18 plus 10, 28. Not bad. The Empower gives another 50%, which is 14, which is 30, 42. Is where it maximizes out. But the lesser maximized rod for the same spell, it'll be so like 48 plus 10, 8 times 8 times 8 plus 8 plus 8, so 16, 32, so 42. So they both roughly end up in the same place. The thing is, one is guaranteed to be 42 at level 10. I appreciate that I'm rounding. I'm getting rid of one because math head. I mean 43 in both cases. There, wasn't difficult, Paul. Where was I going with this? So yeah, it doesn't matter whether I go for one or the other, but with the maximized one, it will always be 43. With the empowered one, it can be... I like the quicken on spells like True Strike. That is a brilliant idea, and I think I got Octavia quicken. Did I? No. True Strike. She has a True Strike, which would be very good for the things like the arrows, because that requires an attack roll. Mainly the acid arrow. But yeah, with the empowered one, it can be a bit variable. With the cure critical, because it's like it only adds on a bonus of 50% after the dice have been rolled. So 48 with my dice roll, and that comes out as 4 plus the 11, which is 15 plus 50%, 7.5, 18. So even with the empowered one, I can still get bad rolls and it basically make it an 18 rather than a maximized. I do kind of wonder if it allows me to use them in conjunction with each other. But yes, so if we take the quickened rod off you again. Sorry, Tristan, you don't get to play with it. Here, have Bless again. Why not? And Burning Arc, extend Meta Magic Rod, Scroll of Reduced. Take the Scroll of Reduced Person off. I never use that scroll. Let's do a quick... It's easier to go this way. I don't think I've picked up anything in a while. I could probably make an absolute fortune by selling a lot of these things. It's one of them where I'll get so far through a dungeon and be so like, I need a scroll that does this. And it's like, I sold all of my scrolls. See, that's an interesting thing. Not Hurricane Bow, but Spellbook. Okay. She also has the Extend Meta Magic Rod, so it lasts twice as long. Spells with a duration of concentration, instantaneous, or permanent are not affected. But this acid arrow is 1 round plus 1 per 3 caster levels. And so it's currently 3. I could double it to 6 acid for rounds of acid damage. So that's something at least. Right. Of course, that said, who are we going to bench? Probably going to bench Lindsay for doing this one. To do this one.
As it should be.
Because I need to take Knock Knock out. And we're fighting goblins who are not tough, but they can be multitudinous. See, that's one of the interesting NPCs that I'd like to take out. And be part of the group, but it's one of them. I'm kind of settled on the 6 that I've got at the moment. Well, 5 that I've got at the moment. Success! The treasurer managed to replenish some of the treasurer's losses by selling off the felon's property. Then he announced that the tax collector was to be pardoned and returned to the service in recognition for his ingenuity. The taxes would also be doubled, as the crafters would have proven to be able to pay. Wow. I do not like how that problem was solved. Treasurer requests your attention, of course he does. Magister asks for an audience. Craftsman strike. Jubilee asks to go deal with that, and try not shafting anybody over. Let us go into here. Because I just remembered that I have Nephthys' library. +1 to divine when adjacent to a shrine counts as a library. Do I have a library? The printing house. Stability when loyal. Loyal when. Stability when lawful. Loyalty when chaotic. Community when good. Military when evil. Economy and culture. In any winning neutral. +4 if both. Affects library. My shrine's over there. But the school's also over there. Oh, I'm just gonna have to build this wherever I goddamn feel like it. See, it says it counts as a library, but I don't think it's gonna behave as a library. I could sell it now and get 50 BP for a free building. Any other free buildings in this place? No. I'm guessing that multiplier of 1 means that it's elsewhere in my kingdom. I'm supposed to build a kobold's quarters at some point. It sounds like a terrible idea. Although the by 1 multiplier doesn't make sense because most of my towns have a wall. Oh well, I'll burn those bridges when I get to them. Right, now that I've sorted that out, nobody else is. Oh yeah, that's just people wanting my attention back at home. Actually start sending you out on them things, although time. Alright, to the trading post. Nobody got tired of a 22-hour journey here. How strange. That's what I meant to ask the chat. If there's anybody still left in chat who has any idea what to do with channel point reward kind of things, I meant to level up Knock Knock, who is also a Knife Master Rogue, so I should have this one pretty much down. I don't. I should, but I don't. This character can make an attack of opportunity against an opponent who has just been struck for damage by in melee by another character. This attack counts as an attack of opportunity for the round and can be used more than once per round. Alright. Take it. Rogue. And next. And all the points in these things. So yeah, if there's anybody in chat who's got any ideas as to what to have the channel points for. Because I've seen people have it's all like a hail hydrate where you take a sip of a drink and it's all I don't like. Well, one of the things that I've noticed that I've not seen many people do is you can actually have a community pot thing where it's like if the channel accumulates up, I don't know, 100,000 points, then something happens. It's one of them where it's like I can't think of anything that I want to do because I've seen some people where it's like, you know, gather so many points or spend your points and I'll do 10 squats or 10 push-ups or 10 some form of exercise. That's not me. This stream is about us doing as little as possible, not about jumping up and down and running around the room. The dance monkey dance stuff is cringe in my humble opinion. Yeah, that's the thing, and it's 1,000 points to have the next fight not done in turn-based mode. Well, that's the kind of thing where it's like I'm thinking it's like, is there anything that people can think of that they'd be willing to sort of like participate with that isn't the whole dance monkey dance thing, because that's just not something I do unless it's something like, you know, accumulate up so many points and then for the stream of your choice I'll play a different video game of your choice, and potentially within reason I'll play just about any video game that Twitch will let me play and I can get a hold of reasonably easily, because I can see that one being a bit popular and I don't mind doing that kind of thing. As long as people know that it's like, I'm not committed to doing a complete playthrough of this. You say, yeah, buy a game one shot for one shot for a game is good. Yeah, sorry, I misread that just mentally, and it's like, yeah, going off and buying a video game for a one shot. Probably not going to happen. If somebody says, oh, I want you to play Resident Evil for a stream, it's not likely to happen because I don't own it. But at the same token, it's like, well, I can suggest things that are similar to Resident Evil in certain ways, because if you're after the zombies, then I can play World War Z. If you're after the sort of like the suspense side of things, then I could play BioShock. Buying level up choices for a character. See, I don't agree with that one because it can knacker up certain things if certain people do it. You know, it's like, especially with a long game like this, you know, it would make more sense with sort of like Hitman, where it's sort of like, I'm playing Hitman and it's like, you buy it and it's like, the next assassination you do must be this level using this ability. For example, there is a flamingo suit in Hitman 2. And it's like, you buy the thing and it's like, the next run on this level, you must murder the person while wearing the flamingo suit. And somehow I've got to figure out how to do the level with the flamingo suit. I've invested some, you know, this is likely going on for, you know, 120 hours. If you were to suddenly turn around and say, I want to buy your next level, and you're going to be a level in Bard, it's like, well, okay then. I take that level in Bard, and yeah, okay, a Knife Master Bard might not be the best combo in the world, but I could possibly make it work, or just ignore, you know, call that a dead level and get over the fact that I've wasted a level in Bard. But then, the next time you buy another level and it's like, this level will be Wizard. This level will be fighter, and this level will be paladin, and this level will be cleric. And then I just end up with a completely unusable character for the rest of the run. And at 120 hours in, that feels like a terrible idea. So, yeah, it's just some things that I'm throwing out there. I'm actually kind of curious. There's a feat that I'm aware of that exists in Dewberry, what's it? Real life, and I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. It allows you to take multiple attacks of opportunity based on your dex modifier. And I can't remember. What it's called. Or whether it's a thing that I can get hold of. I mean, chances of getting multiple strikes of opportunity in this game, attacks of opportunity in this one doesn't really track because they don't really move around too much. They'll shoot a bow while stood next to you. But again, that's only going to be the one attack of opportunity. What do these guys recommend for him? Improved critical. I think he specializes in the Kiriki. 2-weapon fighting. Double slice. Improved 2-weapon fighting. Yeah, let's go with improved critical. Kukri. And then let's take I don't know. I don't care. I'm not really gonna take finesse training bite because you're a goblin and you like to bite things. Why not?
In due time.
'Tis in the game. Yeah, it's in the game. I just don't see you get much use of it in this game. You stumble across an ugly scene, a ragged pile of goblins. They are hiccuping violently, laughing and then hiccuping again. The air is so thick with alcohol fumes. Flies lie dead in the dirt, and an odd vinegar smell as well. It appears the goblins have gotten into Oleg's stock and drank deep into its contents. Barrels, line splinters around the area, not a single one intact. Knock surveys the goblin pile and then glances at you with a shrug. No problem here. Normal day for a tribe. Would be worse if holiday. Is this your tribe? Knock sniffs. Yes. He sniffs again and then suddenly becomes aware of a vinegar smell. They've marked this as home. It will be hard to make them leave this home, though. He glances around in disapproval. It's much smaller than the capital. Capital would have had much more room for them. Not to have to lie in pile. Could be lying down drunk everywhere. He turns to one of the group entwined in the mess. You, running long legs, why did you stop running? Why make home here? The goblin lifts his head slightly, his tiny eyes bleary red. His legs are indeed long and folded back, almost like a grasshopper. Kept getting chased, no place to settle down, got hungry, then caught. Then we sent here, and now? Caught by who? Big Shanks, bigger than you. And Longlegs blinks and scratches the side of his head with his foot. Fatter, smelled better, big club. Was eating sheep. We tried to share the sheep with us by taking. We tried to share his sheep with us by taking one, a small one, in the night while he snore. But we not asked first, so he got mad. After eating half of us, he was so full, but he ready to trade. He said if we find him some place to wash other goblin, If we find him something to wash other goblins down with because they're still squirming in his gut, he let us go. And we knew a place here at Post, but had to sample kegs to be sure. Make them leave, or I'll do it myself. Listen, knock knock, big hero, and you do what knock knock say. But knock knock frowns, his ears twitching. Tell me where Big Shank's now. When you expect back? Did Big Shanks follow you? There's a Big Shanks. Combat mobility? No, I don't think it's combat mobility. It could be. At that moment, there was another waft of foul air, and the shadow falls on the ground. All the goblins in the pile lift their heads at the new arrival, a towering kill giant with mismatched overalls, a necklace of hands and skulls, and a makeshift club composed of several timbers tied together with a rope. He looks very, very angry. Not just the pile of goblins, but the splintered empty barrels. That's him! Knock knock, be ready. The hill giant turns to you as if in challenge, points him to himself and gives a low rumbling round akin to nguk, and then turns to the goblins, his hands clenched on his club, and the growl grows louder. He points at the goblins and then points at his belly, the clear intent clear. The goblins do not respond, not even Longlegs. Their eyes remain wide, frozen. Suddenly Longlegs makes a high-pitched squeak and points at Knock Knock. He our leader! He a hero! He make us drink everything we promised! Also, he made us eat your sheep! Eat him, and... Ugly friend? Oh, I'm ugly friend. The hill giant snarls, lifts his club, and turns to you and Knock Knock and thrusts out his chin, pounding his chest and giving a thundering series of grunts that sound like a challenge. Knock Knock blinks. He, Mugunk, says, not in mood to share. He says that half-shanks are, their guts his to eat. You can understand him? I can! And Knock Knock seems embarrassed. Got caught by hill giants once. Kept his toy for their kid until ran away. Upon hearing Knock Knock words, Tristan winces and shakes his head sadly. Back away, monster, or I'll kill you. Munguk may not understand you, but he's keen on catching your intent. He growls and raises his club, then growls again. Well, do something about it. Knock Knock swallows and then takes a deep breath and strides up to the hill giant, barely cresting his knee, and then he gives a few short, drawn-out squeaks. The hill giant doesn't respond, seeming confused. Knock Knock repeats himself, and again is met with silence. Frustrated and without thinking, he kicks Muguk as hard as he can and howls in pain. Muguk seems oblivious to the kick, but glances down at Knock Knock, who is now holding his foot and leaping about. And suddenly, a smile slowly cracks on Muguk's stained face. It's like watching clay crack. Then he starts to chortle as Knock Knock's eyes water. Knock Knock finally stops hopping about and takes a step back, glaring furiously at Munguk. Seeing the goblin become still, the once smiling hill giant begins to grumble angrily. His eyebrows draw together. Come on, Warden, you need to do better than that. Knock Knock, confused at your aura and without thinking, kicks Muguk again and emits a new set of howls. As the giant gives a delighted booming laugh, spittle flying from his splintered teeth. One gob flies almost slowly, twisting in flight, and lands directly onto Knock Knock's head with a heavy spat, forming a phlegmy cap that drips down his face. The other goblins, once paralyzed with drink and fear, suddenly begin to laugh as well, pointing at Knock Knock until the entire building is filled with laughter. Knock Knock's ears droop at the ridicule, but he finally manages a half-hearted chuckle until he's laughing as well. And the hill giant doesn't seem angry anymore. He's forgotten all his hunger in light of the amusement. See if he'll leave now. Knock Knock looks doubtful but shrugs, squaring his chest. He tries to give a booming, rumbling command and then stomps his foot and nods outside. The hill giant glances in that direction, then turns back to Knock Knock, confused, then points at his belly, then points at Knock Knock. Knock Knock shakes his head frantically and risks a quick glance at you. Knock Knock not want to go. Food is here. Now he thinks me not a hero, but food too. Keep trying, Knock Knock. There must be something you can say to convince him. Knock Knock thinks hard for a moment, one ear twitching, then brightens. He gives a series of rumbling grunts, very quick in succession, then spreads his hands out wide, and then spreads them high, standing on his tiptoes. After this, he settles back on his heels and pats himself on the belly with a sound, which doesn't need translation. Mugger absorbs this dully, then glances at the goblins. He gives a short, dismissive grunt, then glances back at Knock Knock and shrugs. Then, to your surprise, he lumbers out, club over his shoulder. What did you say to him? Just make sense to him with words, like real hero. Knock Knock puffs up triumphantly. Send Mugger to capital. Lots of food and drink. He have all he need to fill belly. Chiron, it's maybe time to put an end to this madness. This prank has gone overboard. What? Why did you do that? Oh wait, that's not to Valerie. That's to Knock Knock. Knock Knock loses some of his puffed up his eye is drooping. Might not cancel well, but hero good at chasing giant off means Knock Knock good hero, right? Ignoring him, the goblin pile is all watching you as they sober up. The goblins seem ready to bolt. You catch Longlegs slowly uncurling himself from the pile, apparently ready to run. You do not notice a number of goblins are looking at Knock Knock with a strange fascination. Dealing with the giant must have impressed them. Knock Knock, deal with your tribe. Knock Knock steps forward and gives a series of cackling hisses to get their attention, and all the goblins stare at him. After their eyes on him, Knock Knock, his eyes narrowed, goes up to each one in turn and raps them twice on the head, hard. They wince but say nothing, except for one feeble groan from a goblin more sober than the rest. Make great deal with you. We need to go bigger place or hit you again. I show you. The goblin stares blankly at this Knock Knock's eyes. Me, big hero. Follow me. Take you to new place. A goblin nods and begins to untangle themselves, but they are doing what Knock Knock says, some of them rubbing their heads. Knock Knock turns to you. Big hero, Knock Knock, take care of them. All good. Where are you taking them? Knock Knock pauses as if he's forgotten what happened a few moments ago, and then you realize he has. Capital big enough? Yes, capital. Before you can stop him, he turns to the goblins. All, you go to capital. Knock Knock, command you. Go! To your horror, the goblins scamper away, running in all directions, but towards the direction of your capital city. I possibly shouldn't have allowed him to take charge of that one. Possibly. back to the capital. There's people who are there who want to see me.
Need to catch my breath.
Fight. Maybe I can murder all the goblins before they accidentally get back to my capital. No, these are not goblins. You missed Octavia. I want to try this out. So, lesser quickened meta magic rod. And so I will do a true strike. And then I will extend and cast acid arrow. Rolled a 4 plus the modifiers of 31. To hit an armor class of 12. Which is... And now he's got 6 rounds of that as opposed to 3 rounds of that, so he should die pretty quickly. It works. The system works.
Knock-knock used to lighting enemies on fire first.
Well, do it with a torch or then something. I don't know. I don't care. Just murder it.
Let us strike as one.
They go down!
No.
I'll try to make this swift.
Just going to ignore him until he bleeds to that acid arrow because, you know, it's a rather large spell just to wait on a guy like that. Fires twice. And then died. Ha ha ha. Trusting go loot his body. Take that, and everybody else loot this body. Ray of Sickening. Not sure if Octavia's got that one. Let's check the inventory. Ray of Sickening. Octavia. You already have it. Great stuff. So many that share icons.
Need to catch my breath.
Yes, yes, you'll catch it later.
I tire.
Bum 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 bum.
No
Let's see what
mistakes.
they are. Kobolds. Found out that I can leave the way that I came in, and it still counts as the survivor thing. Because I was able to sneak around. As far as the achievement is concerned, it counts. So that's good enough for me. No, we're not going to begin rescuing. We're just going to plow on and get to the capital. And go to bed in the throne room. That's a time saver. Yes, it is for... Especially when it's something trivial like kobolds and goblins. You know, if it was something slightly more major, I'd be tempted to go for it. Has there been a random encounter on the bridge or anything so far? Has there been a random encounter on a bridge or anything so far? I've not seen a random encounter on a bridge as far as I'm aware. Octavia grins from ear to ear. Your barony attracted the most unusual and interesting characters. And they have heard rumours that your country is a place where one can live without chains and restrictions. Not long ago, I have visited by an appraiser of magic items, a rare and sought-after profession in many countries. This man proposed to settle in our lands and open up a store. I agreed then and there. Why can't we be as good as Absalom, right? In tribute, he offered his new ruler a valuable gift, but he didn't dare select a specific item for you. He simply invites you to choose from all the finest things he keeps in his best storerooms. Octavia hands you a small list written on a piece of parchment in ornate handwriting. We'd best not be greedy. Let's just choose one item. You look at the list. The appraiser offered you a choice of 3 magical items. One of them attracts good weather and good luck. The second one allows you to dominate animals, and the third one to influence emotions of sentient creatures. I think I want I wish to control the weather and luck. Great, I will express your gratitude to the appraiser. Bonus effect +1 community, +1 loyalty, +1 divine, +1 arcane. Ta-da! Opportunity completed. Nice. Chiron, your subjects are truly savages. How the peasants hate paying their taxes. Well, that's because you just bleeding well doubled them. As if they preferred the Stag Lord's way. When he ran out of gold, he'd just kill everyone in the nearest village and pick the loot from their corpses. But here you come and collect your monthly, with your monthly tax collection, and then for them there's nothing less than a nightmare. However, your people won't get off so easily. Numbers of them join the tax masters and followers of Abadar with regard. They regard avoidance of taxes as a major personal offence. These tax masters wear golden masks and go door to door to beat the gold out of your people, along with their teeth. It is indeed the civilized approach. Hey, magic item assessor, how about you telling me exactly what they are? Yep, that would have been nice as well. It may be the only way to bring some sort of civilization to this forsaken corner of the world. However, if you allow this to continue, you will surely be called a tyrant. I urge you to act carefully. Address these tax masters and let them know they have gone too far, but don't disband them altogether. Someone has to collect your taxes, and there aren't many people willing to take this thankless job. Order these tax masters to stop oppressing your people. I see your strategy. You'd rather be broke as long as you're loved by the crowd. I sincerely hope your soul is warmed by the happy cheers of the pathetic tax evaders. What? I said stop oppressing. I didn't say stop. Oh. That's one of them where it's like could have really done with detailing exactly what the hell was just about to happen when you click the option. So many of these where it's like, kind of vague. Oh god, it's such a catastrophe. Success! A red light. Oh, what did we do with the brothel? The curator encouraged the citizens of the region not to limit everyone's freedom just because some were unable to exercise this responsibility. The brothel's adversaries backed down, and the differing sides have reconciled. What? Oh, okay. We managed to get them to just calm down about it. The Magister, that's done with. That's done with. Anybody else? Okay, no. I've got a couple of ranks up. Support the Treasurer's endeavours, which is an important one to get up. The Arcane one is another one, important one to get up. Marduk's... somebody's drunken rage. What a tangled web we weave. What is with that wituation? Having to deal with Muggerkin to get him out of the barony by whatever means possible, ideally without killing the melancholy giant. How much do I want to assure success? Do I want to blow a crisis point on it? Maybe I do. No, just start the event. Look into the future. Right. Hovering over a green circle choice effects tells you what happened. What? Hovering over green choice effects will tell you what happened. Will happen. Sorry. Greetings, Your Grace. Allow me to pay my respects and deliver a gift on behalf of my master, a well-known connoisseur of magical artifacts. Kindly welcomed by you in the capital. Let me introduce myself. Eileen Greyridge, at your service. The girl bows briefly and springs back up. She casts a curious, assessing glances across the throne room and holds out a package. This is a modest gift from my master, Your Grace. May it serve you well, and in case you're looking for more. Irene looks at you sideways and smiles mysteriously. I beg you to forgive my audacity, but since destiny has given me the opportunity to speak with you face to face, you see, my master is a highly educated and respected specialist, but unfortunately he has no business acumen whatsoever. For my part, as much as I appreciate collectible items of great aesthetic value, I'm far more interested in turning my knowledge in this sphere towards tangible profit. If you take an interest in obtaining magical items without all this hassle, I could arrange it. Tell me more about your offer. Yeah, you see, over all my years of travel, I've built up a long list of contacts across Galarian. In other words, I can acquire magical rarities, no matter the distance or difficulty. If you kindly help me open up my own shop, I gladly quit my master and use my talents to your benefit. Eileen stops speaking and looks at you expectantly. See what I can do. Yeah, I need to... I've just not seen... Hovering the green choice effects tells you what will happen. I don't recall seeing that. I'm not... It's one of them where it's like, I've probably just not noticed it, and I'm just going to now be kicking myself when it next comes up. Oh, thank you. May your reign last for many years to come, Irene bows. I dare not distract you any longer, Your Grace. Guards, take him away. Take his inventory to my treasury. Burn out. I mean, I'm not that kind of baron. It's just not my style. I'm supposed to be building a building? Was that what she wanted? +1 economy to adjacent tavern or longhouse. Longhouse taverns are... About, because why not? Right. Have I? I'm losing track of time. Load times seem to have decreased a bit since you moved to the SSD. Yes, they do feel a little bit smoother, which is nice because the number of times that I forget something, and also nobody really wants to be watching a stream where half the time it's just a loading screen. The question is, have I rested? Also, I've got this Peridot Wyvern that I've never used. I remember getting it at some point in the dim and distant past. It's one of them things where I'm terrible when it comes to remembering all the abilities and different aspects of characters and why then? Because I'm fatigued. I have not rested. There we go. Now I remember. I need to go rest. Yeah, the load time's great because nobody wants to stare at a loading screen, but yeah, it's so many abilities that you've got in these games, and I'm just as bad when it comes to tabletop games. Yeah, I think to a certain degree. I don't think I've got anything on at the moment. Lost Brother, Vanishing Varna. I don't know what I'm doing with either of these right now. Ancient Curse is not for another 195 days. The question is, do I want to spend weeks sorting these things out? If I just wait a day and get Valerie sorted out. Right, rank up. Because all of these are lower than the... I got 3 more BP per week. Begin! So one of my players sold off a scroll of Find Familiar in yesterday's game because they decided they'll never use it. Because if they do, it'll eventually die and it'll break their heart. I mean, I can kind of understand that, but at the same token, it's all like, yeah, I'm guessing that they're not a spellcaster who can use it. Failed. So Arcane went down. Wow. Failure. Failure. Did everybody just fail? A white deer with bloody antlers. Send the priest of Estral after it. Scandal in the capital. A guard has brought an instigator to the castle. I need to go back to my throne room. Look into the future. Can't remember what I just ranked up. Not a good 2 weeks in the barony. But yeah, find familiar. It can be awkward if they get attached to it. Because one of the things is, usually I find that most people who take find familiar as a spell are sort of like, you know, they're a wizard and they cast find familiar and it's like, alright, that cost you 10 gold. And in some cases, it's just basically a guilt-free target for the GM because it's not a player. So, boom, there it went. For better or worse. You didn't clear the tomb with his grandfather before getting this quest, did you? All those tombs are too similar for me to remember. See, I don't know which tomb he's in at all. I have a feeling that the game told me and it's not recorded it. You cleared out a tomb with the dwarf in it, I think. I've cleared out a few tombs. I don't know if he was a grandfather. Lol. 1 second, can I? No, I can't. Let me get out of this dialogue. The captain usually his usually untroubled face is dark with rage. Your Grace, please forgive me for distracting you from important matters, but you're the only one who can talk some sense into these hotheads. They had... One of them's Valerie. That's a bad sign. They had an argument in the middle of a street. Yelled so much your subjects called the guards. But what can they do about Lady Valerie? Plus, Evald hasn't done anything illegal. It's not like I can put them in jail. Valerie, explain yourself. Valerie looks down, ashamed. I humbly beg your forgiveness, Chiron. I have failed to control my temper and besmirched not only myself, but you as my leader. The girl casts a burning glance at the man in sophisticated attire standing beside her. Unfortunately, I was provoked. Even Eld the Silver-Tongued. The man catches Valerie's glance and gasps with indignation. Is that so? So it's forgive my manners, Your Grace. Allow me to introduce myself. Evald the Silver-Tongued from Brevany. It's a pity we met under such circumstances, but... this, so to speak, sweet lady insulted me, if you please, in front of my audience, halted my performance, and embarrassed me in front of an entire tavern. Would you be so kind as to rein in this lady? Valerie is apparently trying to control herself, but telltale red spots flare up on her face. I noticed that someone pinned a disgusting pasquinade? What's pasquinade? Somebody Google that. Pasquinade. Next to the tavern entrance. Something about a bright bird who lost its feathers. That abominable insolence. Yes, I won't deny I'm guilty. I lost my temper, but who wouldn't have? Who wouldn't have? I mean, what? I noticed that someone pinned discussing a satire or lampoon, one originally displayed or delivered in a public place. Okay, so basically somebody had a dig at somebody. Something about a bright bird who lost its feathers. That abominable insolence. So I'm guessing the fact that Valerie's involved. Somebody assumes it's her? She assumes that it's her? Being... Evald gasped with indignation. Is that so? Where I smothered this lady with exquisite compliments, I received only insults and jokes in return. When I come to her with gifts, begging her to become the muse for my greatest work, I was ridiculed and sent away like a snooty boy. And now, the moment I start to pursue my art away from this good lady, she seeks me out and says I'm guilty of spiteful slander. What shall I do? I'm but a slave to my inspiration, which is sent to me from above. Evil Eld smooths down his hair and adds, and while we're on the subject of my poetry, it's really not that bad. I mean, we could just get them to fight to the death. Turns out she's a were parent. Colourful feathers and all. Bom, bom. Even old, did you write a pasquinade about Valerie? Forgive me, who would I be if I stooped to such low attacks? I won't deny that the cautionary tale of this lady could inspire me. How can you listen to this featherbrain? Of course, in the face of justice, he is ready to disown his own parents. And if I'm allowed to continue, let me say that this pasquinade was devoted to the sad position of the arts in these lands. Forgive my frankness. Anyway, the good lady is unlikely to understand what allegory and poetic hyperbole are. Don't even try, Your Grace. I'm afraid even Abadar couldn't get to the bottom of this ball of accusations. Even old apologized to Valerie immediately. Eveld opens his mouth but says nothing. Finally, he starts to enunciate words one by one. Do they even remember who the last Baron was? Yeah, they're very quick to judge me, aren't they? It's like, you're not very good, are you? And it's like, this place was an overgrown forest with bandits running everywhere, murdering anybody they liked and proclaiming themselves the lord of this place. No medicine, no culture. They basically, their taxes were pay everything or you die. I come along and apparently everything I do is wrong. Oh, my jumper started fraying. Don't you just hate it when your jumper starts doing that? I'm not sure if that's going to show up too well on the camera. There wasn't even a pub. No, there might have been some, but no, not many. My only transaction is loyally serving my patroness, the beautiful Shaylin, who sent me inspiration and never hiding from this world a single word that wasn't born in my heart. But since my honesty and openness are so offensive to this good lady, then so be it. I apologize for insulting you with all my heart. Valerie purses her lips. She seems to want to reply to Eveld's monologue, but in the end she changes her mind and just nods. That's nice. You let some steam off and work some things out. At least now I can let you go. Hoping you won't scare our people anymore. Who? Your Grace, I'll go too, but please keep an eye on Valerie. I don't know what the demon has got in her, but she's not herself lately. At first she just snapped, and then she started getting into fights with everyone about stupid things, and now she's dragged this bard out of the tavern by his collar. I'm afraid it might come to real violence. Hoy vey. What do you mean, hasn't been herself? She got defensive. Can't say a word to her. We've been more careful around her since the captain runs a finger across his face meaningfully. I'm close to ordering my lads to keep an eye out for her in the streets to make the common people's lives a little calmer. You think Valerie could hurt somebody? Well, I wouldn't say that. The Valerie I used to know would never harm anyone without good reason, but the old Valerie seems to be gone. so I don't know what to expect from her. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'll try to help her. If I were you, I would talk to the storyteller. One of my lads saw Valerie arguing with him. I have no idea how anyone could have a fight with such a harmless elf, but she did. The captain bows, finishing the conversation. Who are you? The half-elf is clearly embarrassed to be in the palace. He shuffles his feet and bows shyly. Greetings, your grace. Here, I've brought you something. An unnatural robe. Cheryl bows as he hands you a bundle. Oh, I think this is the tailor person? Thank you. I hope to see more proof of your mastery in the future. The half-elf blushes and bows hurriedly. Cheryl shifts from one foot to the other and then finally gets the nerve to speak up. You've done so much for me, your grace. You've cleared my name of slander, freed me from jail, and gave me a chance to do my job with honor. Someone wiser than I would simply settle down and live a happy, quiet life. But the reason I was arrested at the outskirts of your domain... There is a reason I was arrested at the outskirts of your domain. I don't want to discuss it here. Please come over to my village when you have a moment. We'll talk there. Believe me, I have quite the story to tell you. More people. Chemo bows awkwardly. Who the hell is Chemo? A broad smile dancing on the lips. It's ready. I brought you something. Whirlwind. Thank you. You can continue your work. You are welcome. Okay. Don't need to remember who he was. Is this what being a baron is all about? Just people coming up and going, here, have a thing. That's like, alright. Unnatural robe, negative energy resistance. Ability to cast Phantasmal Killer once per day as an 8th level wizard spell. I mean, what are you wearing at the moment? Draping Veil of Prowess. Cold resistance, electric resistance, +2 deflection bonus to AC, the ability to cast Enlarge Person spell once per day as a 4th level wizard. Sounds a little bit more useful. And Whirlwind. This +2 composite longbow grants a wielder a +2 enhancement bonus to dexterity and the ability to summon a medium air elemental once per day as a 7th level wizard. See, so many bows. Right, let's pop that down there. Right, you have a 23 and 6. You still have a 23 and 6 because that belt overrides it. A +2 bonus to a bow. It's not really very good. Seeing as though you have a belt. And then I could get you a better belt. He's the only person I know really to give a bow to. Every time Karen... every time I see Chiron's figure, his weapons really look like boomerangs. I mean, they do, but they're not... Kukri actually kind of look like that. It's... I don't think they've usually got such a pronounced curve to them. But they can be fairly curved like that. And that can go in there, and that can go in there. Oh wait, I decided... Oh wait, only if they're named. Unnatural robe, whirlwind. Even then I'm not entirely sure if I want to keep hold of them. Or just sell these things. Yeah. I'll sell them when I run out of money and need some more stuff. Right. Burning bridges. A bloody craft. There's a DC villain called something like Captain Boomerang that I keep thinking of. I think it's because the frosty fire magic over the handles of the blades as well. Right. See, it's... The swords of fire and ice, to me, are nearly cliché. And I know how you love cliché, but there are so many occurrences in fictional fantasy works of two swords. And I'm pretty sure David Gemmell actually wrote a book called The Swords of Fire and Ice. Or something like that. And I'm pretty sure Game of Thrones, the first book, it's got something to do with fire and ice. It really is a terrible cliche, but it's one of them where it's like, it's a, from the practical sense, it's a useful cliche, because the chances are if something is resistant to fire, then it's going to be vulnerable to the frost, resistant to the frost, vulnerable to the fire, and also just naturally, if you cool somebody down and then hit them with the heat, they feel it a lot more than if you're persistent. A Song of Fire and Ice. Yeah, that's... I knew it was something to do with fire and ice. The book series is called A Song of Fire and Ice. The first book is called Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones also featured a magic fire sword. Oh, fire swords are even slightly more cliche than, you know, the pair of swords. But I'm 90% sure. So I'm going to have to go and look at my bookshelf now. And see if I've actually got the book up here. I don't think I do. I think most of my David Gemmell is downstairs. Or at least I can't see it immediately here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure David Gemmell wrote a book which is like a sword of fire. Swords of Fire and Ice or something like that. But it's one of them. They're very common in fictional works. So it wouldn't surprise me if it reminded you of... oh, somebody's managed to stir crit commissions into speaking it was a fire sword. Now, everyone apologise for crit commissions for giving me duff information. I'm joking. Right, this quest. Don Delarian had it. The sword. Ted Litchy Doodle might have had something special too. No. No what? Yeah, I can't remember if it was called out as a special cold sword of the Angry Ice Min had. You know when you just can't get comfortable on a seat? Ooh, there we go. Oh, my knees. Oh, not offended. Right. Could somebody look up... I'm pretty sure when I got this quest, the guy said where his grandfather was rumoured to be. The only thing is, I accidentally clicked off of it before reading it properly. And thought, oh, I'll look it up where it is in the journal. And the problem is, if it is somewhere that I've been, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to track down. Especially seeing as though there's literally nothing on my map. Knock, you're benched. Lindsay, you're back. Fun fact, that question auto-completes in Google. What question? Love the way you guys are all... I like the fact that my chat is now having a conversation that I have no idea what they're jabbering about. It's nice. Oh, where is the lost brother's grandfather? So do we know what the place is called? And can I have it? That's all I want. Just the name of the place. Or if it doesn't have a name, can you direct me on the map? Auto completes a question, doesn't give concise information. Nice. I'm guessing it's somewhere over here. I have no idea how I'm supposed to get to Talon Peak, although I was kind of going that way around, maybe? Before I got called back to the capital with urgent matters. Oh, I was supposed to speak to the guy about Valerie Shawsbot. Well, we're halfway across the bleeding continent now. Ooh. It dropped a dragon token down. Have been to Sepulture. Poison Hydra. That sounds like a lot of fun. See, now you're asking and I don't know, because I'm not on the map. I have been to a Sepulture. Oh damn, they certainly aren't a bunch of goblins. No, they newbie goblins.
Let's come to this.
Let's have a song from Lindsay. Valerie, rage and charge. Nice. What's the range on this? Ooh. Flat-footed. Show me the name of the sepulture when you've finished with your many beheadings. Will do. Oh wait, are these guys likely to be immune to... No, they're not immune to acid. So, here's the trick we do. We true strike. And then we switch over to this rod and acid arrow. This one. Nice. Although, Jesus Christ, how could you... What? The numbers on screen don't make sense sometimes, because I'm pretty sure that said that she rolled a 3 and needed a 2. Oh no, she does need a minimum of 2, because if it's a 1, it's an auto miss. And then move forward 5 feet.
This should do it.
Murder! I'm poisoned. Of course I am. Because that's what I do with my life. And then we treat affliction on me. Failed, but oh well. At least he tried. Murder. That. Hydra.
Didn't even break a
Ooh.
sweat.
81 damage on a sneak attack.
Do not falter! Justice!
A calculated risk. All according to plan.
That was a lot easier than I was expecting.
What troubles you?
Right here, my
Right,
friend.
and we should have... Oh, we already had it. That one, I don't think I took that much damage. Voila. Feeling much better.
Follow my lead.
Show you the name of the sculpture. Bum 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 bum. Sculpture of Forgotten Heroes. In Varnhold. East Varnhold, southeast Varnhold. That's the one, and I've already been there. So I need to go there again.
I'm hungry. When we stop?
Around about now. Let's have... Oh, we're still on our owlbear omelets. Although we're just ran out of owlbear
sometimes I
eggs.
try to imagine what it's like to be like you. A knight in shining armor and the Queen of Hearts, all rolled into one. Your life is like a novel.
From a distance, it looks like a blessing, does it not?
How goes the pathfinding? Slowly. I mean, made it up to level 11. No idea how many hours I've been playing it. And it's one of them where it doesn't really give you... It really does feel like it's been written by Paizo sometimes. Because it is such obscure detail at times that I have no idea what's going on. On the flip side, I made affiliate with Twitch, so yay, go me. I need to get a button that puts up fireworks on screen or something. Right. And then we came up to this door, and I have no idea how to handle it. A massive kinstone door blocks the entrance. I've been here before, and this is what happened to me. It's all like... there's no knobs, buttons, or signs of how to unlock it. However, a thick package of moss has been scraped off the door's hinges, hinting that it's been opened recently. Searching for a way to unlock it, you can't find that. Use detect magic, faint transmutation aura. And if I try to force a lock, I don't do anything. There is nothing else that I can click on. Alright, go ahead. I think you need to go to the camp barbarians to be able to proceed. Not Amries, but I don't remember what makes that pop up. Yeah, there are 2 barbarian camps on my map, I think, or at least 1 barbarian camp. Of course, I can't remember which tribe Octavia, not Octavia, I said it because the name's on screen. Hammery is... Because you've got the Kelly Bandit Camp. Oh no, that's the... So we think we need to go to this bandit camp? Did you find the lost brother? No, I found a door that I can't do anything with at this stage. And I don't know how to open that door. But the door's been opened recently, quote unquote. See, Mad Cuz Brad, it's not too bad. Early game, whenever there was something going on, it would do that. It would put a little exclamation point next to your next objective. And so most of the time, it's like, I don't really know what they were talking about there, but I'm just going to follow the little waypoint marker that says, go here. So I didn't find that too bad. Now I've currently got the Lost Brother and the Tharnhold Vanishing. And neither of them have given me any pointers as to where I'm supposed to go. I guess that I'm supposed to try to investigate these things but I've been all over this place, and I've been into every single place. The Crooked Teeth and the Rotten Cave, they're linked by some magical portals. Didn't know that. I've been here, I've been here, I've been here, I've been here. I've not been there, but I don't know how to get there. I think it's down that way somewhere. What is the latest? Oh, you have to meet. Oh, have you met the Fey girl in her tree? I have. I've met plenty of Fey girls in trees. Yes, that was the start of this chapter, I believe. What's the last log update? Discover what happened to Edris' great-grandfather. The important one. I have no idea who's important and whatnot anymore in this game. I'm not even sure if I'm important. They keep sending me on madcap quests, and it's like, there's a bunch of goblins over here, go deal with them. And it's like, they're fucking goblins, just put them to the sword. Fine, I'll go. You found Tommen, go back to home base. I've found Tommen, he was dead. I've gone back to home base, talked to that guy, and he said, I want to, it's all like, yep, fair enough, thanks for letting me know. He's dead. It's a curse of my family. He told me about his great-grandfather, and he then asked me, it's like... It says, would like to learn the fate of his great-grandfather. I'm guessing I'm supposed to find the fate of his great-grandfather. I mean, I can go back to the pub if you want. I'm just waiting on chat now to basically something to happen. Uno momento. Yep, no worries. Let's see if I can push buttons and see if my emotes have. Have you talked to him? I talked to him when I found his brother was dead. Let's put this chat a little bit over. No, don't want it over that way. Oh. There we go. Have you been to the Kelly Barbarian Camp? I have not. Is that the direction that I want to go? I shall go that way. Okay. Let there be goblins! That is not a goblin. They are not goblins. Yeah, I was listening to that questline is not the real main questline of this chapter. Yeah, yeah, I'm just after doing some degree of progress because I'm sort of like hoping that something about Varnhold will turn up. Yeah, Josh is watching called it earlier, and it's like I was kind of oh, you mean you should have listened? Yeah, fair enough. It's just one of them. I wanted to be sure before I start wandering all over everywhere. Okay, how do I want to start this? Because 2 giant fire elementals seems like a terrible idea to just go charging at, but it's what I usually do. My slippers are on backwards. Those are some spooky elementals. I mean, I've seen worse.
Will hurt.
Right, give us a song. I'll move over there. Valerie, just delay until after Octavia. Octavia? Can we have a haste on everybody? And then move forward a bit. Valerie, go charge at that one. Nice. Tristan, move up a bit. You're gonna bless next round. Ooh. Oh wow. They're hitting Valerie. Right, Caron, murder.
Let's try this way.
Murder like you've not murdered before. They're immune to precision damage. Oh dear. They're also immune to crits. Okay. Well, that's a thing. Cat's Grace, can I get it on you? There we go. Right. Murder! 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 Oh, by the way, they're immune to sneak attack. Well, at least they're... Oh, no, they're pretty accurate. They're immune to poison, stun, critical hits, precision damage, fire, and sleep, paralyzed, and stunned. They're vulnerable to cold, though. So at least one of my daggers will do... Kukri will do a little bit better at this. And also, I have 1 snowball. I should have maximized that or something. Oh no, I've extended it. Maybe.
You can't stop me.
Just keep that one entertained, Valerie, while we take care of the other one. Yeah, I found that Pathfinder Kingmaker is probably the most accurate D&D based translation that I've seen in a while. Another snowball with a bonded object. That's a good point. Oh, yeah, I moved you there so I can bless. That's what I wanted to do. Right. Murder, 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 murder. So you're not doing too bad on this one. Not doing too bad.
Serves you right.
She's a little bit close range to be using a bow, apparently. Yeah, that's one there.
Bring it!
Let's have another snowball. I'll throw that snowball at... Oh, wait. True strike. And then... Double the duration of the snowball at that guy. Boom. Oh, it actually counts as a ray. Yeah, it's a ranged touched attack, so it is a ray attack. Right.
Stay behind
Don't
me.
worry, Valerie. Everybody else will be coming shortly to assist.
Repent!
Most spells are touched attacks in Pathfinder. Yeah, it's just with Octavia, I've gone down the Arcane Trickster. She's rogue, Arcane Trickster, Wizard, which is basically meaning, thanks to Josh's advice, it's like she gets a sneak attack on a lot of the touch attack spells. It's just I've kind of been struggling with her spell book to find many decent touch attacks spells, because it's like at this level 4 I've not got anything that is a touch attack. At level 3 I've not got anything that is a touch attack. At level 2 I've got Fire, Scorching Ray and Acid Arrow, and at level 1 I have Snowball. But I've only just realised that Snowball is a touch attack, so it'll factor in for that. Her fist ability, her fist spell-like ability is also touch. Fair enough. The thing is, that ability I don't feel is very much more than Acid Splash. Yeah, it's a 1d4 plus a 1 for every 2 levels. I mean, it is bludgeoning. Hiya! Not that this will actually do anything.
Let us strike as one.
Because apparently, oh, it's got DR. Oh, it's a physical attack. Okay.
You forced my hand.
This
Make
should
with
do it.
the murder.
You deserved it. Consider me provoked.
This gonna do anything? Oh, it did 3 points of damage, yeah.
Do not falter.
I'll try to make this swift.
So much damage reduction on this guy. How many rounds of Swift do we have? Oh.
A calculated
Oh yeah,
risk.
I've got that extend meta magic rod. Come on.
Any last wishes?
Oh. Woo! And everybody's running around like maniacs. Because we're all hasted. But yeah, I suppose it's good to know about the telekinetic strike or fist, whatever it is. Should it come to a acid resistant bad guy. Let's enter this location. Fae, natural inhabitants of the first world. They are a large variety of different creatures that fall under this category. Dryads, satyrs, and even cruel little mites are all Fae.
confide in me.
Let's plop one of them just because everybody's slightly injured. Oof, that was another good one. Ooh, did not expect that. On the low grounds around the hills, some Numerian barbarians have set up camp. While obviously set up recently as a place of rest, it is thoroughly constructed. Along with a stake palisade, the Numerians had reinforced their camp with a deep moat. Spotting the body of some unlucky thief at the bottom, it seems like they made a good call. Guarding the entrance was our old acquaintance Noba, the man whose group we met in the hills previously. While his greeting was new and too friendly, he did invite us to enter and led us to meet his leader. We were led to a man named Dulgath, a middle-aged Khalid with a gorgeous mane. Once charcoal black, now salt and pepper, as well as bronze skin, hardened by the sun, wind, and time to the point it almost looked like oak bark. Speaking with assertive tones, he invited us to dine with the Tiger Lords. That was the name of their tribe, and spent the night in their camp. Any business we might have with the tribe, he said, it could be discussed in the morning, once everyone was rested and refreshed. Not wanting to offend the barbarians, who'd proven to be commendably hospitable, we accepted the invitation. Within minutes, we were seated at a bonfire with goblets in our hands. As guests, our goblets were wrought of skillfully decorated silver, with intricate carvings depicting scenes of battle. "Do as I do," Amory whispered in the ear of the Baron, into the Baron's ear. "They really care about tradition here." The cupbearer filled everyone's goblets with wine. When Dulgraf raised his cup, officially starting the feast, the Baron placed his faith in Amory and followed her example. To my utter surprise, our barbarian friend spilled her wine on the ground, and the Baron followed her example. I thought the Numerians would be enraged, but they all followed suit. It was apparently a barbarian tradition, offering the first cup to the spirits. Only after the cupbearer filled their goblets again did the Numerians start to drink, and so did we. The main course, unsurprisingly, was meat. While hunting in the hills, the Numerians had killed a deer and 2 wild boar, all now roasting over an open fire. As the tribe guests, we were offered the best pieces. Fierce in battle, the Numerians were equally fierce at the table. They frantically tore the meat apart with knives, bare hands, and teeth, as though attacking the throats of their worst enemies rather than eating roast venison. Only one camp inhabitant didn't join the dinner. Far from the festivities, a slim woman wrapped in a grey cloak sat alone, her face hidden behind a piece of cloth. She was so quiet and still that at first I didn't realize she was a living being at all. The Baron. Demanded she be invited to the table. Goddamn lawful good choices. The woman shook her head, but Dulgraf was furious. I would never share a meal with that witch. Her very presence would sour the wine in an instant. As he continued raving, one of the barbarians explained to us that the woman was one of the defaced sisters, half priestess, half wizard. While they may travel along with the Numerians, they never ate at the same table. Judging by the tone the barbarians were used when speaking of the woman, it was easy to tell that none of them held any warm feelings to these defaced sisters. After everyone had eaten their fill, it was time for the entertainment. The blah 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 blah. The barbarians began singing a drawling song in their guttural language, known as Halit. Later, one of the Numerians explained that it was a ballad about a brother and sister who defeated a huge metal spider. The song was followed by a comic piece about the adventures of a stupid werewolf. The Numerians sang it together. It was clear that each of them knew that one by heart. Almost everyone clapped to the rhythm, though some plumped their knife handles on their shields, and now a half-orc acquaintance, Bolgar, accompanied the song on a vargan. Once the song was over, Dulgath appealed to his guest, us, to surprise our host. The barons decided our best choice would be... See, I could go for diplomacy. A tale of how we defeated the Stag Lord. But I think it's time for a friendly sparring match with Valerie. The Numerians have great respect for brute force, and not many things impress them more than its demonstration. I witnessed the barbarians roar in delight as Valerie stood in triumphant, shaking her fists over a defeated barbarian lying in the dust. Even Dulgath nodded in approval, clapping his hands after watching the fight. Finally, the drinking and singing came to an end. Only bones remained from the feast, and the bonfire had burned down to ash. Satisfied, the Numerians retired to their tents.
I beg you, I haven't seen my sisters for several days. I'm afraid they may be in trouble.
One moment, I just want to call point to the fact that it just tried to autosave. And it failed to autosave because it's impossible at this time. Which Muppet programmed this to be so like, yeah, we'll save it about here. Oh wait, no, we're not allowed to save while in dialogue. I'm guessing it's dialogue. I don't know, I can't even save it right now. But pressing F5 does nothing. It's actually got spoken dialogue, which means that this must be somewhat important. As you approach the barbarian leader, you can't help but overhear part of his conversation with the woman you recognized from the feast before. Her face remains hidden, and she sounds extremely worried. For those of you who didn't catch it, I beg you, I haven't seen my sisters for several days. I'm afraid they may be in trouble.
This whole land is nothing but trouble. You want me to risk my life and the lives of my people to do your dirty work? Go ahead, ask Armagh to give the order. Oh, but Armagh stayed back in Numeria, which means I am the one making the decisions here.
But what about my sisters? Something terrible could happen to them.
I think I recognize the voice actor for the defaced sister, but I can't place it.
You sisters insisted on this expedition. So it's your price to pay. With your blood, not ours. Something terrible could happen, you say? It is too late for that. We already lost good men on this pointless journey to nowhere. Whatever Armagh needs, it's not here, and it wasn't here from the start. But you didn't come here for him, did you? You came for your own reasons. You want some magic toy that once belonged to the ancient Cyclops. Well, I'm not leading my men to their deaths for that.
Dulgath.
This conversation is over. You want help? Why not ask our guests to help you? If you can afford their rates, that is. As for me, my single remaining goal is to get my people home alive, and well, and as soon as possible.
Yeah, he does sound like he could be from Skyrim. I mean, Skyrim's not really my speciality. That would be more J Station. And I don't recognize him much at all. It's the defaced sister where it's like, I'm pretty sure I recognize that voice actor, but I cannot place it. The woman leaves, sobbing. Dulgath turns to you. Good morning. Well, let's get down to business, shall we? Introductions aren't necessary, Baron. I know who you are. Let us discuss how we can be useful to one another. Do you know me? How?
How do you think? We keep an eye on everything that happens in the region. It's smart to know our potential employers and our potential enemies.
Who's that woman?
Wish I knew who these witches are and where they came from. Our chieftain, the great Armagh, the spirits bless him, trusts them as if they were holy oracles. He sent us with them to these dead hills, and none but the sisters and the chieftain himself know why. Who am I to confront the chieftain? So now we wander these lands, chasing the unknown.
Do you know anything about what happened in Varnhold?
Varnold, huh? Isn't that the village Megor Varn got from the Ristovik Sword Lords? I know Varn. He's not the best fighter, but not the worst. As for what happened there, I wouldn't know.
So how can we be useful to each other?
I'm afraid we can't. At least not yet. I'd be happy to take a new job, but our chieftain's orders were strict. Search the location and come back with a report. But if you could help us here, say, by finding whatever these witch sisters are looking for, or maybe just making them disappear forever, mark my word, Baron, the Tiger Lords never forget those who helped them.
Yeah, Josh was mentioned it sounds like the Jarl. I don't think it's the Jarl himself. And I'm guessing you mean the Jarl of Whiterun, because I'm sure the Jarl is a title and is shared by a few people in Skyrim, but I'm not 100% sure. There's a whole army of you here. How did you manage to get so far?
None of your business, actually. But, just to reassure you, we weren't sneaking into your lands without permission, I'll answer. It was magic. The sisters opened some strange tunnel, and we used it to get here from Numeria. Gorham witnessed my words. I'm no coward. But I'd rather march for a month through all the river kingdoms than use that damned tunnel again. It was strange. Wrong. Just like those witches themselves.
What are you looking for here?
I wish I knew. The sisters are looking for something, but they won't tell anyone what it is. I guess it's some antique that used to belong to the Cyclops. Some magic trinket or something. As for me, the only thing I'm looking for is a good reason to quit this nonsense and return to Numeria as soon as possible.
Is this how you serve your liege?
Don't confuse our chieftains with your kings, knight. It's the chieftain who swears an oath to the tribe. Not the other way around. Please. I was one of the tribe's elders when he was in his first teeth.
How did it go? Did you find anything of interest?
If we did, do you think we'd still be here now? The only thing to be found in these hills is one's own death. A group of my men entered a cave that turned out to be a spriggan den. They barely survived the encounter. Also, we found the ruins of some old tower, ancient as the world itself, and useless as this expedition. There is nothing to be found here, except, like I said, for one's own death.
Let me ask you a question.
Ask away, why not? I don't promise I'll answer, though.
What do you know about the Cyclopses?
Not that much. Long ago, these lands were part of their empire. They were a great people back then, used unbelievable magic, and possessed treasures beyond count. Ages passed, and their empire crumbled into dust. Cyclops became wild and forgot all about what they once used to be. But the ruins, yes, the ruins remember everything.
Tell me about Numera.
Eons ago, stars rained down on Numeria. Pieces of metal, both dead and living ones, fell from the sky. Since then, metal monsters roam those lands, and the grounds hold a wealth of adamantine, among other valuable things. Weaklings don't survive there. As for us, Numerian Kelets, we grew up on that land. We drank its poisoned waters and breathed its toxic air. Metals from the depths infused our bones and muscles. No one can beat us. If there were anyone capable of bringing us down, it would be ourselves.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could have a good go at that.
There it is, Numerian humor. For those who find gallows humor too cheerful.
Tell me about your chieftain.
He's a strong fighter, brave one. He says he's Armagh, an incarnation of a hero from the old times. Just don't ask if I believe it. Armagh is smart. He knows how to do business. If he'd only pay less attention to what those witches whisper, he'd be a perfect chieftain.
Tell me about your tribe.
There are many tribes in Numeria. Each does its best to survive. The Black Horses sell adamantine. The Blood Pikes rob caravans, and their white scars lick the boots of the Technic League. As for us, the Tiger Lords, we are mercenaries, and the best ones in this part of Avestan. Remember this, Baron. If you keep your throne long enough, we'll meet again. Sooner or later, fighting side by side, or otherwise. Who knows?
And some deal in slave trade.
Yes, there's plenty of those too. And their numbers will never dwindle, so long as the Technic League runs the country.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Dugath, son of Gordir and Harith Three Fingers from the Tiger Lord's tribe. My entire life, I've served Gorum, first on the battlefield, sword in my hand, and later with prayer as well. I've fought in battles all across the River Kingdoms, in Yoberia, Guld, used to live. My price is high, my hand is steady, and my sword is deadly.
He said a place that isn't listed here. And no, you missed an earlier part of the conversation where it doesn't make them kings, they're chieftains. And I get the reference, I just refuse to acknowledge it. Tell me about Gorum.
Our Lord in Iron doesn't like empty talk. He's the god of those who act instead of chatter. His palm blesses every sword ever crafted, and wherever at least two men meet in battle, he is there with them. Even orcs worship the god of battle, and not only that, they imagine he's an orc too. It's all nonsense, of course, but there may be a grain of truth to it. For anyone can aspire to be like him. A human, an orc, and even an elf. Anyone who grips his iron to make his enemy bleed.
Well said, old man. Truly well said. Blood for Gorum!
Thank you for your answers.
You're welcome.
I have to go and speak with your witch. The lost relic. Find the relic that the deceased sisters are looking for.
You, our guest. The Baron, am I right? I'm sorry you witnessed that unpleasant scene. If I may ask, what is your name?
A slim figure stands eerily still, wrapped in a cloak and hiding her face in her hands. If you hadn't seen her moving before, you could easily mistake her for a statue. However, as you approach, she lowers her hands from her face. Her golden green eyes peer through the holes in the cloth covering her face. My name is Caron. What is yours? After you give it your name, a large raven who'd been sitting on a fence nearby takes wing and flies away, cawing coarsely.
Nice to meet you, Baron. I have no name. I've rejected it to serve benevolent powers. Not the greatest sacrifice of those we're sometimes called to make. You may call me Defaced Sister.
Do you know anything about what happened in Marnhold?
Dark things tend to happen in that land. I can only guess to the fate of Varnhold. My 3 sisters know more. Help me find them, and you'll get your answers. If the spirits are kind, it will happen before it's too late.
That's what I needed to hear. A hint of a possibility of a going forward from this. Do you have any idea where your sisters might be?
Do you have a map? I can provide you some direction. One of my sisters went to the sepulchre of forgotten heroes. Another went looking for the Forsaken Mound. And the third was going to visit the ruins of the City of the Hollow Eyes. I won't lie, these places are all very dangerous. But searching for lost truth always involves danger.
See, the City of Hollow Eyes sounds like a fantastic idea. The Dunswald region is known for its ancient ruins. Thousands of years ago, these lands were ruled by mighty overlords who left numerous mementos behind. One such memento is the City of Hollow Eyes, a huge burial complex serving as a resting place for heroes long gone. The colossal building sits amid the expansive plains of Dunswood. Unfortunately, time has not been kind to this amazing structure. While the main entrance is yet intact, several parts of the building have caved in. Cool name, and it's one of them where it's like, it's very Indiana Jones kind of thing, exploring ruins of places. It's kind of what I like to do in these kind of games. The other places are like, places of the dead, whatever. Right. What are you looking for here?
It is not yet time to answer this question. We are searching for ancient ruins, the remains of structures built by the previous holders of these strange lands. That is all I can tell you, for now. I understand that you want to know more, but have no doubt, you will in time.
You speak in riddles.
Don't be wary of riddles. Those wise enough to solve them eventually learn much more than those who always seek straight answers.
Who are you?
I am one of those who call themselves the Defaced Sisters. We've rejected our names and our faces in service to benevolent spirits. I'm sorry that I cannot reveal our true destiny to you yet, but believe me when I say our mission is extremely important. Not just for us, not just for the tribe, but for the entire world.
I'm inclined to believe her, and I don't know why. I like it.
So honorable. Do these benevolent spirits have names?
Do not burden yourself with idle questions, cleric. Know that all the truths you are seeking for will find you, but only when you are ready for them.
I have to go because I get the feeling that I know the answers to the rest of those.
If in your travels you meet my sisters, please help them, and I will help you in return. Remember this word, Gahab. That is what the previous inhabitants of these lands, the Cyclopses, called darkness they so worshipped. If a door shut and lockless bars your path, this word might be your key.
And that's what I needed to know.
May kind spirits guide you in your travels.
Thank you. And with that, I actually have an idea where I'm going. I do like it when plot progresses. I have saved. I will go back to just talking. So, thank you for joining me this evening. Good numbers this evening. I've been keeping an eye on my viewer count, and it's been wavering around the 8 to 7 mark most of the evening, which is a lot higher than I actually kind of expected this endeavor to get when I first started it. So, thanks for coming. So yeah, post-stream wrap-up stuff. Again, I recently made Twitch affiliate, which is nice. Woohoo, go me. Emotes are on their way for subscribers. That's something that got requested pretty much straight away, and I've jumped on top of it. I'm just waiting for them to be verified. On the subject of subscriptions, which is usually the point where people will be sort of like, hey, subscribe, blah, 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 and pay for subscriptions and the like. I really don't care. This was never intended to be a replacement primary income for myself. It would be cool if that happened. It would be a delight to be able to go into my place of work and say, hey, guess what? I quit. Just on the token of sort of like, yeah, I'm now playing video games for a living and making good money doing it. But at the same token, don't feel obliged to subscribe. If you have an Amazon Prime account and you're not using your subscription elsewhere, feel free. You really shouldn't be going in there right now, to be fair. Shouldn't really be going in where right now, to be fair. I'm confused by what you just said. Your workplace. Oh, right, yeah. I've not been back to my workplace in less than 50 days. It will be an entire year since the last time I went into my workplace. But you get what I mean. You're just being pedantic now. But yeah, if you've got an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe to a Twitch channel for free if you weren't aware. I would appreciate that if you're not using it elsewhere. But again, it's one of them. It's I appreciate that many people are potentially using it up for people who hide behind paywalls when it comes to videos on demand or... what's the other thing? Just actually being able to talk and have a chat. I'm nowhere near that size of scale, and to a certain degree, once you actually get to that size and scale, chat no longer becomes a thing anyway, and I much prefer being able to actually talk and respond to chat. That being said, if you want to throw a subscription, some money down on a subscription, I'm not going to complain, but I will give you just as much recognition and gratitude as if you decided, rather than subscribe to my channel, you gave the money to charity and said so in my channel and said, hey, rather than subscribing to you, I gave $5, £6, whatever, to this particular charity, and I'll call that out and mention it. I will be back tomorrow evening around about the same time playing Cyberpunk 2077. That playthrough, I'm slowly getting through all the open world side questing that you can do. So who knows, maybe, probably not this week, but maybe next week I'll start getting back into plot related things. I'll be back on Saturday at a slightly different time playing co-op games with my good friend Magcat. UK. I think we're going to be playing Phasmophobia this week, or we might be going back to Deep Rock Galactic. I'm not 100% sure on that front. And I'll be back with my usual schedule, Cyberpunk Monday and Pathfinder Kingmaker Tuesdays. If you look down below at my schedule, it will automatically correct it for your time zone. So rather than me rattling off a bunch of hours, which only means something to half the people in the chat. Okay, I think that just about covers it. We're currently still looking like... Deep Rock Galactica, not heard back yet. Have a good one. To Pip, yes, alright. So yeah, probably by that, my cat just chimed in saying that it'll be Deep Rock Galactic. It'll be whatever it be. It's one of them. It's kind of random. We might wake up, Saturday morning and decide to play some Sea of Thieves. Who knows? Which reminds me, my cat, Sea of Thieves just did an update. It's now gone a little bit seasonal. There's new stuff to do in Sea of Thieves. Anyway, with that, I'm going to see if there's anybody else streaming at the moment. If I'm not mistaken, my friend Pathfinder Games should be streaming, but I'm not 100. Yep, they are. They're, if the schedule hasn't changed, they're currently playing Starfound, which is a Starfinder actual play podcast kind of thing. Feel free to stick around for the raid and say hi when we get there. If not, tidy bye, have fun. See you next time.